The last big reveal of information that we got concerning Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was last month in an unannounced presentation that Nintendo dropped to show information about Joker and the 3.0 update. And this presentation, for something that was just shown out of the blue, certainly delivered. There were no expectations, and therefore you couldn't have as much disappointment. But as we get further and further away now from that big drop of information concerning the game, fans continue to wonder what's next for the downloadable content in Smash Ultimate. And as evidenced by the title of this video, today I'm going to be going over 5 theories that I have for the future of DLC for the game. Some of these theories are pertaining to types of DLC that we already have announced for Smash Ultimate, such as the Fighter Pass for example, and some of the theories that I'm going to be going over in this video are related to types of downloadable content that have not been talked about yet by Nintendo. And as always, I encourage you to leave your theories for what's next for the downloadable content in Smash Ultimate in the comment section down below. And really quickly before we get started, I encourage you, if you're new here, to subscribe and tick the bell icon so that you don't miss any new videos that I have to come out about Smash Ultimate when I release them. And with that being said, let's get started. The first theory that I'm going to be going over in this video is pertaining to when will the next character get revealed. I think it's very important before we get into who this character may be to talk about when we'll actually be able to see this character. As many of you are aware of, Nintendo has recently revealed their plans for E3 2019. This year is going to be very similar to the format of previous years in that they're going to be doing a Nintendo Direct. We could assume that Nintendo's going to talk a lot about games that they already have announced, such as Animal Crossing, which a lot of people want to see, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Mario Maker 2, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Luigi's Mansion. I could go on and on here. There's a lot of games that fans want to know more information about that Nintendo could spend a lot of time talking about in their E3 presentation. But they're also likely to talk about what's next for the DLC in Smash Ultimate in terms of at least one new character reveal. E3 is the perfect opportunity for Nintendo to show an audience that's outside of Japan and primarily English speaking what they have to offer, because there's going to be people who play games on multiple types of different consoles who have eyes on Nintendo's presentation here, and if they could reveal something big, they might end up going out and purchasing a Nintendo console and their copy of Smash Ultimate. They may just be so enticed by this new character that Nintendo decides to reveal, and because they decided to show it at E3, when there's going to be more eyes on it, there's going to be many more people who gain this interest, as opposed to Nintendo revealing a character in a Nintendo Direct, and mainly just getting Nintendo fans' eyes on what this new content will be. But is E3 a lock for when we'll get this new information? Maybe not. A private video has reportedly been uploaded to the Japanese Smash Bros. YouTube channel, and there have been other rumors surfacing of a new DLC character being revealed relatively soon. If these are to be believed, then we could potentially get the next character reveal for Smash Ultimate before E3. Do I think this is likely to happen? No, it doesn't make that much sense to me. We're only a month away from E3 now, and I think that it would make a lot of sense for Nintendo to just drop their big character reveal at E3. Even if they were considering to reveal a character now, I think it might just be better to save this other character for E3, and they could potentially have 2 character reveals there. Maybe if one of the DLC characters that they have planned to show soon isn't as big as the other, they would both be boosted by the momentum of being at E3. So instead of focusing the reveal of one character who maybe people aren't too excited about on one event, and then having people get disappointed that this character is included in Smash, if you combo that character with an event that you would like people to be happy about and excited about, and another character that fans really want to see, the feeling of disappointment probably wouldn't be there. So in general, I think it's very likely that the next character is going to be announced at E3. However, just because of some of the information I went over, it may happen before then. The next 2 theories that I'm going to be going over each relate to the DLC characters in the current Fighter Pass. This first theory is wondering about, will the downloadable content characters be exclusively third-party characters? Now, the only hard evidence that you could use at this point to prove this theory to be valid is that Joker is a third-party character being part of the Persona franchise, and if he's a third-party character, maybe the other characters that follow him will also be third-party. But I do have other reasons for why this may be the case. I believe it will be a very big financial benefit to Nintendo if they were to be able to create these partnerships with other companies and bring characters in for Smash Bros. That aren't their own characters. Remember, it's Nintendo deciding on the characters that are going to be included in the Fighter Pass here, not Sakurai. If Sakurai was deciding on all of these characters, maybe we would get some third-party ones like Smash 4, but also some fan favorite Nintendo characters included along with it. But since it's Nintendo is deciding them, they'll probably want to target some huge third-party icons and bring all this brand awareness to Smash, get a lot of more people wanting to go out and purchase the Fighter Pass, or just purchase some of their favorite characters individually. And these characters would probably be ones that they recognize from other brands. That's just an easy way to draw them in. But going back to the partnerships point that I mentioned a little bit earlier, if Nintendo's able to create these bonds with these other companies, then they'll probably be able to bring over more of their games onto their console, like we saw with Final Fantasy. Cloud, included in Super Smash Bros. 4, led us to get all of these Final Fantasy games put on the Nintendo Switch. Perhaps something like that could be replicated with more types of characters being included inside Smash Ultimate from non-Nintendo series. The next theory that I'm going over though is related to this one and has a contrasting idea. I do believe that one of these two will be true. This theory is, will new Nintendo game releases get promoted through characters again? What I mean by this is that for some of the DLC in Super Smash Bros. 4, Nintendo promoted some of their new game releases with the characters that they decided to include within it. A primary example is Corrin from Fire Emblem Fates in order to promote that game. Corrin was included late into the DLC lineup, and that might have caused some further promotion for Fire Emblem Fates and sparking higher sales for that game's release. So if the DLC characters for Smash Ultimate aren't going to be exclusively third party, then that leaves options open for existing Nintendo characters to come in. But many of the highly requested characters that fans want to be included in Smash Ultimate are already inside of the game, but in other roles, like an assist trophy for example. And unless Nintendo really wants to tamper with the fundamentals that are already established inside of the game, or they would just like to have an assist trophy and a playable character be able to interact with each other at the same time, who are the same character, which I don't see is very likely, we're probably not going to get any assist trophies released as characters. And because there's a lot of Nintendo icons that are assist trophies already within the game, if you want a new Nintendo character to be included in Smash Ultimate, you're mainly going to have to look for characters from games that haven't released yet. An example of a character that they could bring in is a representative from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Whether it be the protagonist or one of the house leaders, I could really see one of them being included in the game. I also think the reaction would just be hilarious because of people complaining about way too many Fire Emblem characters. But this is something that I could see Nintendo doing. I think it'd be a very good benefit for them, not just to promote a game inside of Smash Ultimate, but also just to provide more characters that fans want to see at that moment in time, because it takes advantage of their curiosity and their hype surrounding a new game that's going to be coming out. This next theory that I'm going over is, will Nintendo bring back more modes from Smash Bros. Past and reinvent them into Smash Ultimate like they did with Stage Builder? I think that bringing back Stage Builder for the 3.0 update was an amazing idea. We got to see some incredible stages online and some not so incredible ones. But this one feature being included in the online shareability within it allows for a new community sort of to be created in Smash Ultimate, and allows all the people who enjoy creating things to express themselves within the game. But with this great feature coming back, will Nintendo decide to bring back any more in free updates? For example, if they were going to do a 4.0 update, do you think they would bring back Smash Run, Smash Tour, Break the Targets, something like that? I did go over some features that I would have liked to see in the 3.0 update in a previous video, so I'm not going to go in depth on all these ideas here because you could watch that video. But in general, I think there's lots of possibilities that Nintendo could call back to from Smash Bros. Games in the past. There are also many other unique types of ideas that fans have come up with for new features that could be included in Smash Ultimate that Nintendo could innovate with and include post-launch. I think this is likely to happen just because I didn't see Nintendo bringing back any old modes initially until they announced the 3.0 update, and once we go a little bit more into the future, I think fans are going to want a little bit more to do in Smash Ultimate, so they're going to probably add another mode to keep people satisfied. And an idea sort of related to that concept is the final theory that I'm going to be going over in this video. Will there be another Fighter Pass after this one? To illustrate this idea, I just want to point out that Smash Bros. Games have released with one coming out per console for their entire lifespan. There have not been multiple Smash Bros. Games on a console yet, and I can't see that changing here with the Switch. But because Smash Ultimate is coming out very early in the Nintendo Switch's life cycle, only a year after the system came out, and considering that the Nintendo Switch is selling pretty well, it's probably going to have a longer lifespan than the Wii U did, which means that Smash Ultimate is going to have to be this big game to generate sales sales for the Nintendo Switch for its lifespan. So like I talked about in my last point, adding features post-launch is going to keep the fan base engaged and probably bring in a lot of new people to buy the game after it's been out for a while, because they're continually incentivized by new features that are included within it. And obviously another way to keep people engaged is with downloadable content fighters, and this is another way Nintendo can make money as well. It's not just to keep the fan base engaged. But downloadable content fighters are slated to have been ending for Smash Ultimate with this fighter pass by February of 2020, which means that it won't even be 4 years into the life cycle of the Nintendo Switch before we stop getting new big content in Smash Ultimate. Contrast that with Smash 4, where DLC only ended a year before the next Nintendo console came out. I highly doubt that Nintendo's going to want to do a brand new console in 2021 unless it's like an upgraded version of the Switch or something. So that would likely mean that they'd want to create more paid content for people to get after the game has come out for a while. So that would probably mean that they'd want to create more types of paid content for people to buy, to keep them engaged after the games come out, and to continue to make some more money off of this game. So what are some ideas for possible other fighter passes that could be included for Smash Ultimate? The idea of an Echo Fighter Pass is thrown around a lot, and it's because Echo Fighters were a very big inclusion in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's basically a way to brand clones, and I think that was a great idea for Nintendo to do. Everybody hated clones in Smash 4 because it was as if Nintendo was passing them off as new characters, which they blatantly weren't. But for Smash Ultimate now, they're explicitly stating that these characters are clones with minimal changes from the original character. This is something that I very much appreciate. So if Nintendo decides to release 5 Echo Fighters in a fighter pass, and it would probably have to be at a cheaper cost than the regular fighter pass, because Nintendo would be a very bad thing if you charge the exact same amount of money for 5 original fighters as you do for 5 characters who are based off of ones that are already in the game. But I think this would be a good idea to keep people engaged, and they still get pretty excited about it, but to a lesser extent obviously, because they're Echo Fighters after all. Another idea that I have for a type of fighter pass is if it's going to be only third-party characters this time, like I mentioned in my idea earlier, possibly they could create a new type that is exclusively Nintendo characters for the next one. And maybe they could even double down on it, some retro characters, some classic characters that hardcore Nintendo fans are really going to appreciate. I think that idea would be really cool, and some great fan service is always appreciated, and it's going to be paid DLC anyway, so it's not like you're shoving the fan service in people's face. But that about does it for the 5 theories that I have for what's next for the DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and what the plans are for the future of this downloadable content. As I said at the top of this video, I encourage you to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below about this situation, and if you like this type of video talking about what's next for a particular series, you'll probably enjoy the video that I just made about Mario Kart, where I speculate about what's next for the mainline Mario Kart games. If you're mainly just interested in Smash Bros. Content though, I have another Smash video linked for you on the screen right now. With that all being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.